Good afternoon, parents. Thank you for watching this video. This is an opportunity for me, the head coach, Peter Ramirez of the football team, to kind of introduce you to our staff, introduce you to our procedures and protocols that we have here at the school. We're really excited to have your student on our team. We've really been excited about what's going to come up this year. We feel with the type of players that we have, which including your student, we can put together a really good football team this year and have a really successful season. But most importantly, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. So we're excited. We're anticipating that this season is going to be really, really fun. And we hope that we can do a lot of great things this year. And with your help and your cooperation, I know that this season is going to be really, not only going to be successful, but it's going to be a really fun season for our student athletes, especially our seniors, as this being their last year. So we're going to go through this presentation that we have that should answer a lot of your questions, and then I'll go ahead and leave comments, and we'll have we have this live feed set up so you can ask questions throughout, and we'll try to get to every question that we can. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, this is our coaching staff. This is the coaching staff we'll have this year. I'm going to start from the left and kind of work my way to the right. First off, we have Coach Robert Dean. Robert Dean is going to be our defensive coordinator this year. He has been for the last 3 years, and also he will be coaching our linebackers. Coach Dean played at Azusa Pacific University. He's also been a coach for the last 15 years. He's been a head coach 5 years and been a defensive coordinator all for 10 years. So he brings a lot of experience. He loves the kids. You can tell by his smile, he loves to have a good time. And Coach Dean will be passing out. He'll be getting in touch with all of the players on defense. They'll have his contact information, so at any time you need to contact Coach Dean, feel free to contact him with any questions you might have. Next, we have Coach Mark Evans. Coach Evans is our offensive coordinator and our quarterback coach. Really smart coach. He also takes care of our student athletes as they're trying to be recruited, so he'll take care of any calls that we'll get from any college recruiters, and he'll be the one who will make those calls, make our highlight films. He does a really good job. Coach Evans was played. Not only did he play at Memphis University, but he even got invited to the Texans. The Houston Texans. Camp, and didn't make the team, but hey, he got a lot farther than most of us did. Great quarterback coach, great offensive coordinator. We're really excited to have him. Obviously, me, Coach Peter Ramirez, I am the head coach. I take responsibility for this team, and this staff is really good with a lot of experience. Next is our special teams coordinator and our offensive defensive line coach, Coach J.T. Carter. Coach Carter is one of the best offensive and defensive line coaches in the country. We're really excited to have him and really lucky to have him, as he's going to help our big guys fight in the trenches. So we're really excited to have him, and he's done a really good job with our special teams as our special teams coordinator. Like I said, we're excited to have him. He's doing a great job. And then Coach Brian Purcell, he's our wide receiver and DB coach. He has been excellent with our guys, and he's doing a really great job. He's got over 10 years of experience coaching, and really great coach. So we're excited to have him as well. How did we pick our staff? When I picked the staff, and we were really wanted to emphasize, we wanted coaches of integrity, and all these men are coaches of integrity. They've really proven that they can lead young men, not only on the football field, not only in the classroom, but they can lead them in life as well. They're guys who we wanted to pick, coaches who who really take to the philosophy of they're the same guys, same men in front of people as they are when people aren't looking. And that's what we try to preach to our players is we want to be men of integrity no matter what the situation is, no matter who's looking at us, no matter who's paying attention. We're always doing what is right, and all these coaches are those type of guys. We respect the school's faith-based principles. We know that this school has a faith-based principles behind it, and we respect that. Not all of our coaches are born-again Christians, but what they have promised and what they will do is they will respect all of the faith-based rules and regulations that this school has, and that you as parents have also committed to. So you will see that our coaches will pray with our students. They will allow prayer to happen. We'll pray before practice. We'll pray after practice, meetings, and all that as well. And we're going to hold cursing down. There will be no alcohol consumption during the season. So that's kind of the things that we've committed to, and we want our players to commit to as well. We've all when we picked a staff, we were looking for commitment to the players in the program, and part of that was making sure that they could show up on time, making sure that their outside job responsibilities did not interfere with their football responsibilities. And making, we had some teachers on campus that wanted to be football coaches, but unfortunately their teaching times kind of interfered with our practice times and our meetings times. So unfortunately we couldn't have them on, but we did have these coaches that we have right now, and they're great guys who have committed to the program, committed to helping your student athletes become better and better every single day, and we're really, really, really excited about having them on board. Every coach has 8 years, at least 8 years of experience at the high school level, and all these coaches do have that. That was a requirement. So we wanted to let you know that, look, these guys, these men have the experience and know what they're doing, and they've been successful at other programs, and we're bringing them on board so that we can bring that success to this program and that we can be successful in the future as well. So wanted to make sure that we understand that your child is a student athlete, and student comes first. There are academic requirements here at this school, and the district has requirements, the team has requirements. So there's a few things that we're going to make sure that our student athletes do. And number one, the district has a requirement that the student athlete has to keep a 2.0 grade point average at all times to play in a game. We think that's good, but we think that it could get better. So the team, as a coach, as a head coach, I have implemented a 2.5. Not only do they have to have a 2.0 grade point average, but they have to have a 2.5 grade point average in their core classes, which are the maths, the Englishes, the sciences, and the language arts history courses. So just because they have D's in a bunch of other courses doesn't mean they get to have a A in PE and bring up the grade point average. They have to have a 2.5 grade point average in their core classes, and we really believe that this is really, really important because these kids are student athletes first. And no matter what happens in their football career, if they have their academics taken care of, they can go a long way. Not every one of our players is going to earn a college scholarship. So having their academics in line, having a plan to go on after high school and move on to the next level, they have to have those academics in order. So one of the ways that we're going to make sure they do is we have bi-weekly grade checks. There is an app that your student athlete has downloaded on their phone, and we'll give that app to you as well. And you'll be able to track their progress throughout the semester and throughout the football year. It will give, we have connected it to their teachers so that their teachers can put in bi-weekly grade checks. They can contact us through this app. They can contact the coaching staff if they're having a problem with the student. So all these things are in place so that they can help your student athlete. Also, bi-weekly counselor meetings with our academic counselors, and we'll go more into what our academic counselors do. But this is really important to make sure that they're on track to graduate, make sure that they're taking the right classes, and making sure that they're doing what they need to do to be successful in the classroom. So this is really, really important to us. And we have found that, we have found through studies and stuff, and that student athletes who do well in the classroom also do well on the field when it comes to the intellectual part of football. And we want smart players who know what they're doing, who are out there competing every single day. Now, the school also has attendance and disciplinary standards that we have to abide to. Your student athlete cannot be absent from 12 or more classes throughout the 2-month period of our season. That sounds kind of harsh, but we have found that student athletes who show up to class every single day are almost have a 35% better chance of graduating and doing well and passing the class than they did if they're missing a bunch of classes. So just showing up, we tell our kids, just show up. Show up to the class, have your homework in hand, be ready to learn, and that's half the battle right there. So we really have these standards. Absence from 3 or more classes on game day, that will also disqualify them from playing. If they are tardy, if they have 2 or more tardies that week, that will disqualify them from playing in the game. Now, as they're getting close to absences, we do have Saturday schools here at this school. So if they have had 12 classes missed, then they have an opportunity to go to Saturday school, and that makes up for 6 of them. So that makes up for a day, pretty much. So Saturday school can help out when there are some things that they can't if a student misses a day. But these are unexcused absences as well. I wanted to make sure you understand that these are not absences that are unexcused. These are unexcused absences. So excused absences don't count towards this. If your student gets sick, or there's an emergency in the family, as long as it meets a certain criteria with the school, with the AD, with the principal, and as long as they're able to meet that criteria, then there will be no problems with them being absent from a class. So we just want to make sure you guys know that ahead of time as well. You can't just miss class just because you want to miss class and expect to play on Friday nights. So also, fighting on campus, drug or alcohol use, breaking of school rules, all those will be taken up with the athletic director and the principal and myself, and we will decide if it's bad enough that you may have to miss a game or 2 or whatever the punishment is. Automatic fighting, drug use, and breaking of fighting and drug use will automatically be disqualifications from that week's game, if not more. And breaking of school rules, that will kind of depend on what the rule is. We don't, it just depends, and then I'll sit down with the athletic director, and if it's really, really bad, we'll sit down with the principal and kind of decide, we want to make sure that the punishment meets the crime. So, and academic dishonesty, cheating in class, that will be an automatic disqualification from a game. So we want to make sure that our young men have high character, and so following the rules is part of that. So the school also has an academic support system that a lot of high schools don't have. They have designed and created an academic support system that is tailored for our student athletes. We're really lucky here, and we want to take advantage of these opportunities. So academic counselors are on board. We have academic counselors that understand the transfer process from high school to the 4-year colleges and to the junior colleges for an athlete, which can be different from a regular student, and they understand that. And that's why we want to make sure that our student athletes, like I said earlier, are meeting with them and making sure that they're staying on track and understanding what they need to do for the NCAA or to transfer out, and having their transcripts ready to send to these colleges and stuff like that. So We have a plan for them. We want to implement that plan, and that's why they have to have those things. We have a student athlete tech and support center. That's just filled with computers and books. It also has math, like you see under there, math tutors and writing tutors. All that is in there, so the student athletes can go in there, use the books, use the computers, use the tutors, and it is mandatory that they spend 2 hours per week in our our student athlete tech and support center. It's mandatory that they spend 2 hours there because our student athletes, they need the help. All students need the help. So we have this opportunity to help them out. Take advantage of this opportunity, use it to the full extent, and go on and be successful. Now, we got kids tell, 2 hours, that's a lot, coach. Hey, you spend a half an hour here, spend 15 minutes there, spend half an hour there. All that kind of adds up. So they have to be smart, time management, get in there before class, get in there before school, get in there after school. All that has to be a part of their academic process or academic journey, and it's the same when they go to college. So they have to be ready for that as well. We want to talk right now about the team budget. Right now, it cost us about $16,000 to run this program. It may seem like a lot, but really it's not that much. First of all, on average, we've had 40 students. On average, we have 40 student athletes here on our football team. The practice uniforms, those cost about $50. That's their shirt and shorts that they'll work out with. They'll weight lift in, and then we'll have our practices in as well. So total for the team, $50. That's going to be about $2,000. The uniform allowance. Uniform allowance is, after a whole season, our uniforms get messed up. They get ripped, they get torn, they're whatever. We have a uniform company that fixes up our uniforms, so we don't have to buy uniforms every single year. So that allowance for each uniform allows us to fix up the uniform, and if the uniform is very badly damaged, then it allows us to buy a new uniform when needed. So it helps us to do some fixes to certain uniforms, get them cleaned, get them nice and ready to go for the whole year. We clean the uniforms. We have a service that cleans our uniforms. So this is a small fee. We feel that kind of helps us out, helps us save money in the long run. So that's about $100 per student. That entails overall $4,000 for that for the year. Coaches' stipends. Our coaches put a lot of time into our student athletes, and we feel that they should be compensated with a small financial gift. Really, $500 is really not that much for what this coaching staff does and the time that they put in every single day. They put in a lot of time away from their families, and we really feel that $500 is not that much, but it's something that we can do for our coaches. So we have 5 coaches. Each coach gets a $500 stipend. That's $2,500 for the year. We really don't feel like that's a whole lot to kind of. That's not even what they're worth. So we think that this is just at the least that we can do for them. Post-game meals. We like to do a post-game meal after every game for our student athletes. A sandwich, a chip, a Gatorade or a water, something kind of like that. It changes from game to game, but we've averaged it out that it costs about $8.50 per meal. We have 10 games that will have 40 players, so all that together cost us about $3,400 for the year. We also like to put together a nice end of the year banquet. We have a nice banquet hall here in town. We get food, we have our awards. We have a professional crew put together a highlight video for the year that the kids get to have. And all that does cost money. So we put away $3,000 for that as well. Media equipment and subscriptions is $1,100 of that. That entails any cameras we need to record not only games but practices. We have students who come in and do that, who volunteer to do that to help part of our media team. We do have subscriptions that help us share the film to not only our student athletes but to college coaches. So all that does cost money, and we feel like this kind of helps out. Also, we do need to repair equipment. We do need to upgrade equipment certain years. So this kind of covers us for the most part. So that's where all that money is going. That $16,000 is going to. Luckily, the district covers the transportation, the equipment refurbishment. Our helmets and our shoulder pads, they get refurbished every year like they're brand new, so we can protect our student athletes. And also the referee fees are provided by the district. So that portion here is not included in this $16,000 budget. So we are really lucky and that the district does that for us, and we're excited about that. So how are we going to get that money? Well, we're going to get that through fundraising, good old-fashioned fundraising, and we are going to need your help. We have a company called Snap. It's a marketing firm. Excuse me. It's a marketing firm that helps our student athletes out. Each student athlete has to provide 20 emails. 20 emails to people, and there are some criteria. One of them is the person who owns that email needs to be alive. It sounds funny, but you see some weird things doing this profession. The second thing is that person that they're going to give the email to Snap for can't be a staff member of this school or a coach. So the biggest thing is, and on average, by doing this, we have gained about $5,000 in fundraising from this. So last year we made $5,000. Hopefully we can make a little more this year, but every year that we've done it, we've made no less than $5,000. So we also have to sell discount cards. We have $10. The cards cost about $10, and each player will have to sell 15 cards. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not. You get on the phone, you call all your family members, you go to your neighbors, you go to your local grocery store, you go to the local eateries and all that kind of stuff, and you sell those cards, $10 here, $10 there. And then at the end of the day, if all of our players do it, we end up making $6,000 off this fundraiser, which we're really excited about and really goes a long way. The district has an allowance for us. They give us $2,500 at the beginning of the year, and the school has an allowance that they give to all the teams, and that's $2,500 as well. So we use that towards, which ends up being $16,000, covers us for the year. So that's kind of the fundraising portion. We want to make sure that you understand our transportation rules. All of our buses will leave from the school. You won't have to go to some off-campus site to drop your student athlete off so they can get to the game. They will always leave from the school. All players must ride to the game on the team bus. Right here. You can't. A student athlete can't decide he wants to drive his own car to the game. He can't decide he's going to drive with his buddy to the game. It can't be parents. We don't allow you to drive them to the game unless there's a circumstance that can't be helped, and we'll kind of okay that on a case-by-case basis. But the bus will return to the school after the contest. It's not going to go to a different site. As soon as the contest is over and we're all ready to go, get on the bus and we head back to the school, and that's where you will find your player when it's over. Now, we do allow you, parents, if you want to take your child home after a game, after an away game, we do allow you to do that. But there is a form that you have to fill out, and we'll have those forms the next couple of weeks. It will be sent home with your student athlete, and you fill those out, you bring it back. Only the individuals who are on that form are allowed to take that student athlete home after the game. It's got to be a parent, a grandparent's fine, an uncle, an aunt, maybe a neighbor, or if another player's parent. You want to allow them to go. As long as that person's name is on the form and you sign it, we will release that player to that adult. An underaged, couple of things, we will not release them to an underage individual. So you got a brother who drives and he's 17 years old, we're not releasing him to the older brother. A friend who drives, we're not releasing them. It's got to be an adult, and it's got to be someone who's on the form. So that's our transportation. Parents, we want you to be at the game. Parents, we want you to be at practice and be involved as much as possible. But there are some protocols that we have to follow, and we need you guys to follow so that everybody is safe and so that everybody can enjoy the experience of the season. Whether it's at a game or it's during practice, there is no profane language or gestures to be done during practice. You guys are adults. We understand. You can do whatever you want, but while you're on our campus, while you're at a game, you are not allowed to use profane language or gestures. And if you do so, you could be removed by security. We never want to do it, but we want to let you guys know ahead of time so that it's not a problem in the future. Also, there is no drug or alcohol use. If you are caught using drug or alcohol on the campus, whether at a practice or at a game, you will be removed, unfortunately, too, as well. So we want to make sure those two areas are super clear. And there's no miscommunication in that area. If you want to be at a practice or you want to be at a game, you have to stay in the stands. There are no parents allowed on the sidelines. Nobody's allowed on the sidelines other than administrative staff and the coaching staff and the players. So you're not allowed. Sorry, as much as you want to be, we're not allowed to have you. It's a liability thing. And then during practice, we will have an area where parents are allowed to be in. We need you to stay in that area. We can't have you wandering around for liability reasons. Number one, if a quarterback throws a ball and wide receiver's trying to catch it and it goes out of bounds and runs into you, it's a big mess. So there's two sections around the practice field that you're allowed to stay in. You stay in that area, we have no problems. We have no problems at all. And my rule is finally my rule right here is no game conflict conversations will be held after a game. What that means is if you have a problem with what happened in that game, whether it's playing time, whether it's how the game was called, whatever that is, if you have a problem with how that went, we're not going to talk about it after the game. Unfortunately, because emotions get involved. I'm an emotional guy. You're obviously in an emotional state after that. We don't want either of us to say something that we don't necessarily mean or want to say. So what we're going to do is we're going to save those conversations for a later date. We'll tell you how we do that, but it won't be held after the game. For any disputes, like I said, we're not going to do it after the game, but we will set a time and place 48 hours after the game with the coach. So you come up to me, you send me an email or a text or a call. Coach, I had a problem with what happened in the game. Can we set up a time it happens Friday night. Can we set up a time on Monday in your office and we can talk about it? That's perfectly fine. We'll set up a time. We'll set up a time that works for you and me in my office, and we'll hash it out in a respectful manner. We want to do it 48 hours because it allows us, like right here it says, allows us time for both me and you as a parent, both times to kind of cool down. We don't want emotions to be a part of what our conversation is. We want it just to be about the facts, and because at the end of the day, we both want what's best for the student athlete, and want also allow you to prepare for the meeting. If there's some things that you want to write down, or some clips from practice or from the game that you want to present, that helps out whatever it is the argument is for you, I want to allow you to do that as well, because I will do it for sure. If no such solution is reached, the very next step is we'll meet with the athletic director. And our athletic director is great. He'll sit down with us. He'll mediate, and he'll try to figure out a situation. If we can't figure out a situation with the athletic director, we'll sit down with the principal, and by then we should be able to find a resolution to whatever the problem is. We also want to let you know that this is a Title IX school. What is Title IX? Well, Title IX was passed by Congress in 1979, and in a nutshell, I don't want to go deep into it, but I want to let you know that what it does is any state or any state-funded institution, which would be our high school, must provide the same amount of opportunities for men and women. Now, in sports, that means it has to be a certain amount. The resources have to be split between boys and girls sports, equal opportunities for the boys and girls sports, so that they can equally play certain sports. That also has to be involved as well. And also, what is also under this is any harassment issues covers under Title IX. So your student athlete is very important to us, and he deserves to not only go to school, but to play sports where he's not harassed, where he feels safe in an environment that he can thrive. And there's a few things that we've done to help that out. We do have a Title IX court. One of our academic counselors is a licensed Title IX coordinator. So they understand Title IX. They understand the resources that are involved with it. So at any time, if your student athlete or you feel as if something has happened that is unfair to the student athlete, whether it's harassment, whether it's you don't feel that they've been given the same opportunities as other student athletes has, all those you could take to the Title IX coordinator. And under here, they have the confidentiality and the resources that could help you out. If you want it to be confidential, they will keep it 100% confidential, and only those who need to know will be informed. They also have resources for you. If your child was harassed sexually, physically, or emotionally, there are resources that they know of and that can help your child out. The biggest thing we do is if we tell our student athletes and our parents, if you see something that is wrong, tell a staff member, tell me, tell my coaching staff, tell a teacher that's walking by, tell the principal, tell our Title IX coordinator will probably be the best person to tell, but if they're not around, tell somebody. And then we tell our student athletes, if you see something, say something. Let us know, because we can't help you guys if we don't know what's going on. So let us know what's going on, and we will be more than happy to help you out. So parents, thank you for watching this video. We're really excited that your athlete is going to be a part of our team this year. We're super excited to have them. We believe that with your help and your student athletes' help, we can be really, really successful this year. If you have any questions, my phone number is attached to this. My email is attached to this. Feel free to contact me whenever you have problems or you have any questions. I'm always here for you guys. We're really excited about this season. Let's go have a great season together, and we'll have a lot of fun. All right. Well, thank you so much. You have a great day, and we'll see you on the football field.